to see the fans down here, and they go through a practice. I asked them to raise their hand if they'd ever seen one of our practices, and they all were like, no. I said, well, you got about add about another hour to our normal practice, but that's the pace of the practice, and that's how these kids are challenged, so it's pretty good. And then to be able to have them each take a picture with the team, I think, again, you know, for them to make an effort to be here and be with us for a few days is good. And we've had 2 good practices. It doesn't mean we'll play great, but we got a bunch of guys in a great frame of mind about playing for each other, about, you know, being more about their teammate than themselves, yet being responsible for themselves. And what we're trying to do is have them develop the habits they need to win. And it's each individual and it's our team to develop those habits. So it's been good. Yes?
John, each year you tend to bring in a group where you have to, that has always been the highest score on this individual team, and you have to teach them how to share the ball. This group in particular seems to be grasping concepts quicker than some of your others.
Well, when your guard play is at the level of this guard, even though they're young, they share, they have the ability to score, but they're not worried about it because they know they can when they choose to. And then they just know through the recruiting process, you're not going to shoot 30 times a game here, 25 times a game. You're not. You're probably going to get, if you're our best players, 13, 14, 15 shots. So make them good shots. And if you're the guy taking the most shots, 13, 14, 15, you don't take bad shots because those shots belong to the other guys who accept that they're not going to take as many. But you're talking about 6, 7, 8 guys that, you know, are doing it. And then we've got some guys that, you know, got to shoot better. You know, Dom, who had 9 assists and 1 turnover, just got to make some open shots. And the same with De'Aaron. But I think all in all, they are a team that shares. They are a team that plays for one another. And, you know, they play hard. I mean, we compete. Even in this setting, we compete. He's fine. It was a butt bruise is what it was. So the MRI came clean, and which meant it was like a thigh bruise. All right, now that I know what it is, let's go. Enough. It's a thigh bruise. Now, it was a deep one, and it was, you know, he had to miss a couple games. But at this point, let's go. And he practiced yesterday. He was ridiculous yesterday. Really was. And then I was saying, how in the world could you not play in a game and then the next day practice like you just did? So here's what I said to my staff. And all these kids, you know, there's a fear hanging over them that what if something – like, if you don't know what that is, you probably take games off. After he knew what it was, the MRI and the other, he's fine. But I don't blame him. I mean, I trust a kid when he tells me I'm not feeling like I can go, and then don't go. We'll figure it out. Just hope that someone doesn't play real well and take your spot, because that could happen too.